Here Cliffe Knechtle explains to a student how Jesus was able to pray to God if he is God, and what it means as Jesus being God in the flesh.
Like, it seems like to me that you're speaking of Jesus like he is God in man form. Is that what
Yes,
you're saying?
that's correct.
But like in the Bible, it seems to me that it doesn't really say that explicitly. In fact, like it says things like opposite to that. Like Jesus like prays to God. He says that he's going to his God, right? How does God have a God? Or how can God be higher than God? Because Jesus says that the Father is greater than I.
Yep.
In the Bible.
All right.
So how can God have a God? How can he pray to a God?
You bet. It's the mystery of the incarnation. God the Son humbles himself, becomes a human being, limits himself, goes down a birth canal of a woman named Mary. Pretty limiting. Takes on a human body. Very limiting. So he limits himself. And you're right. At times, Jesus talks about his humanity. But in John 8:58, Jesus says, before Abraham was born, I am. Very deliberately, that his listeners pick up stones to stone him for blasphemy. He claimed to be God. John chapter 10, verse 30, I and the Father are one. Once again, the listeners picked up stones to stone him for blasphemy. Why on earth do you think that they nailed Christ to a cross? Why do the Jews want Christ nailed to a cross? Because of blasphemy. Not because he healed sick people, not because he fed hungry people, not because he taught the Sermon on the Mount. That's not why they nailed Christ. They nailed him for blasphemy, because he, a mere man, claimed to be God. That's why he died. Now, I'm certain that if Christ didn't think he was God, he could have clarified. He didn't want to go to the cross. He was going to the cross because of his claim to be deity. And the Jews nailed him for it, and then the Romans nailed him physically for it. So this idea that Jesus didn't claim to be God is a bunch of poppycock.
Then why does he pray to God if he is God?
Because he's God the Son, emptying himself, limiting himself, taking upon himself the form of a human being, and talking to his Father.
So is he praying to himself?
He's praying to his Father, and he's part of God.
So the Father is also God.
Yes.
Jesus is also God.
Correct.
So
and the Holy Spirit is also God.
So is that not three gods?
No, it's three persons, one God. It's a very difficult issue. It's the Trinity. That word never appears in the Bible, so we don't have to use it. But Jesus repeated the Shema of Israel. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. So he stuck to monotheism, one God. Then he prayed to his Father, as you pointed out very accurately. He claimed to be God. And then he also talked about the Holy Spirit as being God. So there's one God, three persons, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.